Well, good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Rudy Venter and I'm a landscape photographer from South Africa. This morning I am going to try and capture the sunrise here in the Karoo region of South Africa. We've got a couple of clouds, as you can see, and they're starting to light up. I'm also going to look for a nice tree. There are lots of very nice shepherd's trees around here, maybe some rock formations. But yes, the sun is starting to rise. I better move on. I'm so glad you are here. Please, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. Much appreciated. Let's go image hunting. Well, I have found my first composition of the morning. It's still very dark. Even with this camera on ISO 6400, the video is still a bit dark. But as you can see, I've got a LED headlight with me, so I'm planning on some light painting anyway. So I'll just show you what I've got here. In the foreground, I've got some rock formation that leads into the image. And then on the left-hand top, there's a very prominent shepherd's tree, beautiful tree, that I'm going to use as an anchor point. And then yes, looks like we might have a very nice sunrise, or at least a decent sunrise. You see there's some clouds up there already starting to change color. And on the right hand side there's a euphorbia and some other bushes as well, with another rock more towards the middle. Overall, I think the composition can work, especially if the sky lights up nicely. I must just make sure that I don't, first of all, clip the highlights, and secondly, that I don't cut off the shepherd's tree on the left hand side. It's quite close to the top of the image. Well, you see it in 16:9 at the moment for the video. In the photo it'll be slightly better. But let's see if we can make this work. We're waiting for the light.
Here we have the image I managed to capture. As you can see, the light painting did actually work quite well with the foreground. It's light enough. I ended up not shooting multiple exposures. The leading line bottom left towards the center works well with the rock. And so does the leading line on the other side. They capture your eye and they force you towards the middle of the image where we've got some color in the sky. The tree that was top left hand, unfortunately, was too far for light painting. My light wasn't powerful enough, so it was just a very dark blob. So I ended up cropping it out in this image. But overall, I'm quite happy with a almost fairy tale like image. I love the very beautiful pink color in the sky.
I have changed the composition slightly now. As you can see, I move slightly towards the right to try and get the shepherd's tree more into the image. And then also on the other hand, try and get a bit more of the clouds that are more towards the left into the image. I'm still waiting for some more color in the sky, but it looks like there might be some clouds right on the horizon. So I might have to wait a while longer. Maybe there is a gap that'll come through. Composition similar to the previous shot. Rocks in the foreground, you might just be able to see them. You probably can't see them, it's still too dark. I'm trying to light them up. Then the shepherd's tree on the left hand side, and another rock almost in the middle with some euphorbias behind it. And then yes, hopefully the clouds, that'll light up a bit. I'm going to try and maybe move even slightly further right and raise the camera slightly, because at the moment the bottom end of the shepherd's tree is a bit hidden behind some euphorbias here in the foreground. So I'm going to just raise it slightly and see if that'll make a difference.
This is the image I managed to capture with the camera lowish, about half a meter above the ground, and move slightly to the right compared to the previous composition. What I do like about it, some interesting clouds in the sky, a bit of color, not much. And then what I do not like about it is the tree is actually a bit hidden. I've lost quite a bit of the rock in the foreground, and the colors seem a bit flat. I could boost the colors a bit, but overall the image just seems a bit flat. I need more foreground interest. I think that is the main problem. I should have included more of the rock in the foreground, but then I would have lost some of the sky, unfortunately.
Well, here's the composition with the camera raised slightly, probably by about it's over half a meter. I'm getting a bit more of the horizon in, and I think also more of the trunk of the shepherd's tree, but unfortunately in the process, of course, I've lost some of the foreground rocks. So there's still some rocks in, but the nice leading line that I had is no longer there. Of course, I can change the composition slightly, maybe more like this, drop it a bit more, because those high clouds are not that interesting, and then maybe I'll get some more of the foreground interest. I'm going to have to exposure bracket this, because the foreground is still very dark as the sky lights up. So let me just see if I can capture it like this. Maybe there's an image in here somewhere.
Here is the image with the camera raised slightly. I think it does work a bit better in terms of including more foreground, which give the image a bit of depth. It's not as flat. I would have liked the rock in the foreground, the leading line, to start slightly more to the left towards the corner of the image. And that's, as you'll see, I've actually tried that in my next attempt. But overall, yes, the sky is, there's a bit of interest in the sky, not enough color. At this point, there was the sun was just trying to light up or to break through from behind a cloud on the horizon. But as you'll see in the next image, I think the final one was the best one. Fortunately, perseverance helped in the end.
Well, here's my third attempt at this composition. Drop the camera slightly, or the angle of the camera, it's now almost level with the horizon, to try and get some more foreground. And I think this is what I'm starting to like. You can see the foreground, the leading line is there. The shepherd's tree is there. I've got the other rock over there towards the right hand side. All I need now is for the sky to light up. You won't actually see it in this on this camera maybe, but there is a bit of color in the sky. I just wish the rock in the front, in the foreground, was actually slightly more to the left, and I will maybe move again and see if I can change that, but I think in the process I'm going to lose the beautiful clouds.
Here's my final attempt at that composition. And as you can see, firstly, I did move the camera slightly further to the right, as I was thinking of doing it. Plus, I waited a little while just for the clouds to light up, and they did light up briefly. As you'll see, now we not only have the clouds with the orange on the right-hand side, but also the orangey, almost reddish cloud just above the tree. And I like the lines of the clouds also form. They actually point towards the tree from the right-hand side. And then the rock formation in the bottom left that leads your eye into the sky, to the horizon, up to the clouds. Overall, I'm quite happy with this image. I think this is the best I could do in that particular location. So yes, perseverance paid off, and I managed to capture an image that I'm happy with. Never give up after the first attempt.
And while I'm looking at the sunrise, this is happening behind me. Some beautiful colors in the sky. Plus, of course, this rather nice shepherd's tree makes for a nice composition. I just need to maybe move slightly to the right to get the tree maybe slightly more off center and get those nice leading lines in the clouds running from top left hand corner into the tree. But yes, always a surprise behind you. Yes, I quite like this composition. The clouds form nice leading lines from the left hand side, all pointing towards the tree, and there's still a bit of color in the cloud, even though it's fading now. And then of course the tree, very interesting, the shepherd's tree. It's got beautiful bark. It's quite light in color, so I'm hoping I can bring that out in post-processing. But I just caught this in time, because as you can see from the video clip a few minutes ago, the color is now mostly gone. But it was nice while it lasted.
Here I'm showing you the two images that I managed to capture. First of all, the image where there was still quite a bit of color in the sky. This was shot at 20 millimeters, and I specifically like the leading lines that the colors in the sky, the clouds form, that kind of points towards the tree. The yellowish orange cloud behind the tree is also nice, just above the mountains. I would have liked a tiny bit more foreground interest, but that wouldn't have been that easy. The second version of the image I actually zoomed into about 26 millimeters. The colors in the sky have changed. The leading lines are still there, but some of the clouds have broken up a bit. I've also moved slightly towards the right. I'm not sure which one of these two I actually prefer. I think the first one, the clouds are nicer, but maybe the slightly tighter shot here with a longer lens, and the second one helps. I think the composition is better in the second one, but the clouds were better in the first one, so I wish I could have combined them. But the secret here is never forget to look behind you when you're shooting a sunrise or a sunset. Often the magic is happening behind you while you're patiently waiting for something to happen in front of you. Here you can see a composition with the mountains in the distance. While I'm shooting the wide angle, I'm also having a look here at the telephoto, shooting at 200 millimeters in a crop sensor here. ISO 100 f11, and it's going to be about a 3.2 second exposure. The colors are quite nice, purple pinkish colors, but not the reds that I was expecting. Slightly towards the left, the sky is lighting up a bit where the sun will actually rise, but over there's no real interest in the background. The mountains are hidden by a hill quite close by, and it's not such an interesting hill. But I think for now this photo is also quite interesting, specifically with the colors and the layers, the cloud layers and the foreground layers. This image is towards where the sun will rise in a few minutes. Nothing really interesting in the image other than some nice colors. So not a portfolio shot, but a beautiful sky anyway. If nothing else, it'll end up in one of the Instagram sunrise groups. They'll probably enjoy it, but I don't think I'm going to end up putting this in my portfolio. After the nice surprise with the beautiful colors behind me during the sunrise, I also took the drone up and took a few images, specifically towards the mountains in the distance. The first image here, you can see some beautiful clouds over the mountains, some light on the mountains themselves, And then of course in the foreground there's a tree, shepherd's tree, I think quite beautiful. The second image, I flew about 1,000 meters towards the mountain. Here you can actually see the mountain, just the tops catching light. Unfortunately the sky was not so colorful anymore, but still a pretty beautiful shot, and not something a photo would have been able to take without the use of a drone. So I love my drone. Here's a close-up of another tree on the ridge. I managed to fly up there, didn't climb up there, or I was anxious to get the image of the tree with some beautiful clouds behind. I knew by the time I got to the tree, the clouds would have been gone. And in effect, they were almost gone. But I still think this is quite a usable image. And that specific tree, you might recognize, is featured before in one of my videos. I really like it.
Well, everyone, I think that's it for this morning. Had a relatively nice light show towards the sunrise. Not as many clouds as I wanted. Now we've got lots of clouds, but it's too late. But there were some quite nice colors in the sky. And then also behind me, away from the sunrise, there were also some nice colors. I think there are one or two images there that might work. The images I captured with a long lens at 200 millimeters. Nice colors, nice layers, but not much detail or foreground interest. But I think they will make nice atmospheric images. Also towards the end, when the color in the sky was mostly gone, I did try a couple of shots of the shepherd's tree with a drone. I wanted to get it from a slightly higher perspective, looking slightly down from about 4 meters high. And I think they're going to be quite okay. By now you've probably seen them. But I think I need to make use of the drone maybe more in some cases, because it's very convenient to move it around and get slightly higher perspective than I can get with a camera and the tripod. Anyway, thanks for watching, much appreciated. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. If you're interested in any prints or to use some of my images, please contact me direct. All the very best images, I normally do limited run prints, 25 prints only, and they'll be serialized and signed by me. For any other merchandise, have a look below in the description. Visit my RedBubble site, where you can buy anything from a coffee mug to a t-shirt with the images on. If you've seen any images in the videos that aren't there, please let me know. I don't upload all the images there, only a select few. Thanks for watching, much appreciated. Hope to see you in the next video. I try and release them on a Sunday evening on a weekly basis. Hope to see you again. Have a great day. Keep well and keep safe. Cheerio.